Where do I start about Reg?
Reg's Prodigy.
Been on Reggie now for almost, about 30 years almost.
Been establishment. Been establishment.
He's short and he's a nice guy.
Alright, it's your boy Reg's Prodigy. It's cold as hell out here. Jake's on the beat. I'm good, son.
I'm on my way home right now. Getting ready to go load up this trailer. About to hit this road going to Atlanta.
Alright, this your boy Reg's Prodigy. I'm out here Bike Week 2021 in Corona Haven. I'm masked up. That's how some of these cats is doing it out here. Big money. So, as a kid, of course, I was born in Richmond, Virginia, MCV Hospital, at the early age of 0. Yeah, I'm an asshole, so y'all gonna find out some stuff on this series about me that some of y'all already know, but it is what it is. Just, I grew up in Richmond, come from Churchill, Peter Paul Boulevard. As I was growing up, Mom had a government job at one point in time, so she moved around Georgia, Connecticut, Maryland. I lived with my mom everywhere except for the little stint she had in Georgia, and I think that was just like training for the government job she had or whatever. But I've lived in Texas, lived in Maryland, lived in Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina. And those were in my younger years. All of that was before middle school, so it was like early on in life. I was on the move as a young child. And came back here probably 7th grade for good. And I went ahead, did middle school here, did high school here in Richmond, Virginia. Other than that, like I said, I just my upbringing was inner city. It was a culture shock moving to the county for me. But I was one of those kids that could adapt. I couldn't relate, but I could adapt. And if you don't know what that means, it's like being put into a hostile work environment, knowing that you got to survive, but you're not used to doing the work. So with that being said, like, that's where a lot of my character comes in from, just being around, growing up with people that were more fortunate than I. Not that I was poverty stricken by any means, but it was just a different. It was inner city, then it was the suburbs. So it was like I didn't relate to a lot of these people out here, or a lot of the kids I went to school with, but I adapted to my situation and adapted to my environment, and then I had to make that beneficial to me and make it work for me. So
You see, what I don't want to California is they changed to the yellow butterfly. But what made you bring that up? Because I seen butterflies.
So where the caliber?
Because that's where they come from.
Yeah, I know that, but what made you think about a caliber when you see the butterfly?
Because that's where they come from.
You know what I'm hearing? I thought metamorphosis is the caliber first.
No, I ain't see a caliber. But they the first one. They the first. Before it become a butterfly, it's caliber. Think about it.
I'm not. You were talking about it enough to where I gotta think about it.
Just think about it.
I really
Think about it. If you ever sit there and think about it, I bet you'll come up
Nah, that's all I'm watching that.
with. You got all day to do it.
I'm watching that.
7 days a week, you sit there and think about it. When you go outside tonight and sit on your porch and drink your drink and smoke your cigar, think about it.
Where did these big words from?
Out my mind.
They outside?
No, out my mind.
Oh, I thought you might have rolled them on the wall. You got some chalk in your pocket.
Because my vocabulary is very up.
Where you get these these big words from?
They're not big words, they're in the dictionary.
Oh, okay.
Damn. Dictionary is a big word. For y'all. For me, it's okay.
What's the difference in it?
No, it's not.
Some big words.
I was taught well in school.
Oh, Lord, here we go. What school was that?
In school, suspension don't teach you nothing. I got my GED. Huh? I got my GED.
You got the G, but you ain't got the EG.
I got my GED.
They gave you the G, but you ain't got the EG.
I Googled some shit. How about that? Ain't that what you do?
Nope.
You was just sitting over here Googling how to career. What? That's what you was doing.
No, I said look, what you told me you can do.
Go home.
And stop where?
At the liquor store?
That's a liquor store.
She told me Kroger. I ain't say nothing about Kroger.
Yeah, you said you going.
I said just because that Kroger look big to you, don't mean it's big to me. That's what you said. You said ain't that a big Kroger? I said no. And you said
mine is the one by my house.
how? It's not big to me. It's small.
The one by mine.
Yeah.
You ain't even been out there.
I was gonna say, what you been out
Pick
there?
up trash out there.
You must ain't seen that Kroger then.
It ain't that big.
It is too.
No. Because in your
Which
eyes.
one you went to?
Your eyes.
Which Kroger on
All the way up and down below.
All the way up down.
I've seen 4, 5 of them.
Hey, I'm Mahogany Brown, and this here is one of my oldest friends, like age and as long as we've been friends. Forever and ever. Mr. Reggie Henderson, and this is Life of a Hustler Without the Game.
Yeah, never played the game.
Never played the game. How did you not play the game?
I got close.
Because the game is kind of fun, I'm gonna admit.
Yeah. I got kind of close. But then pregnancy happened, and I didn't want to end up not being around to raise my son. So I kind of put my foot in, and then she got pregnant, and then I took my foot right out.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute, because you're a great dad. You're a great example. You're probably one of the reasons why I wasn't too afraid to become a parent.
Okay.
One of the things I want to talk about is, like I said, we've been friends for a very long time through a lot of changes in our lives. But the one consistent and the one thing that I could always, and I'm gonna tell you something, as you know, I can always brag. You are the youngest business owner that I've ever met. Like, you owned a business probably before we could drink. Well, you don't drink, but.
Right.
So how long have you been a business owner?
I've actually owned my business, my brick and mortar now for over 28 years, going into 29.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Do you mind sharing how old you are?
47 at the moment.
We are.
Yeah. I guess you just had a birthday.
We are 40. No, yours up. Yes. Yours.
I had my birthday. Yours is before me. You old.
No, I'm 47.
Yeah, but you older than me.
We've been doing this. We've been doing this for well over 20 years.
Yeah.
Almost as long as you've owned that business.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have been. All right. So let's get back to, because I think at the time that we met, your son was born already, and I think your daughter was on the way.
Right.
You had a lot going on at that time. You already owned your business. You had a recording studio with a partner. So take us back there. What was that like?
That was like some of the roughest times of my life.
Like,
I had rent on my apartment, car note, car insurance. I had rent on my business, water bill, electric bill. I had 2 of everything.
Right.
Then I had the studio.
Right.
So we had rent there. Luckily, the electricity and everything was included there. But we had opened up studio, had rent there. So I'm paying rent in 3 places at one time. First child, second child on the way. It was bananas, man. It was like I made enough money to cover everything, but it wasn't a whole lot after that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was like I basically intercepted a phone call,
Right.
which turned me into a business owner. And the way that happened was the telephone rung at the shop. I went to go answer the phone, and the guy said on the other line said, "Hey, is this the barbershop in the paper for sale?" And I said, "I'm not sure. Let me let you speak to the owner."
Yeah.
I put the owner on the phone. I walk the hell out. Yeah. I go to the bank and apply for a loan. Because at this time, I don't know what the hell going on. Right. I didn't even know the business I was working for was for sale. Right. So I went. They gave me a $3,000 loan. 2 days later. 2 days later, I walked in with $3,000 cash to my boss, and I said, "Look, I didn't know you were selling the place. Yeah. I don't really know what's going on, but I got $3,000 to put down. I don't even know how much you're selling it for. Right. What's my next step?" He looked at me and said, "I didn't know you were interested in purchasing." Right. I said, "I didn't know it was for sale."
It's always amazing to me how someone can own a business, have someone that works for them that they know is dependable, and not say, "Hey, just so you know, I'm selling my business."
Right. It was kind of like the movie, you know. Right. Mr. Wallace come in, yo, don't come back tomorrow type shit. And I'm like, yo, this shit. Like when I saw that in the movie, it was like, hey, that shit was almost me. So I was like, yo. But yeah, then the gentleman I work for, Mr. Street, he financed it for me. So I was paying him the rent. Right. My rent at home, rent on the studio. Like I said, I was head over, like I was up here with bills, and then it's just like I struggled through that. That was like the longest 5 years of my career.
And I was, like I said, I came midway off a lot of that. So how, because that never came across in any of our interactions. Like you always made it seem like it was easy and everything was cool.
Well, to me it was, you could sit around and complain about stuff, or you could go ahead and just do what you gotta do. Right. And I was one of those people, I was determined to not fail. So within that, it was just a situation where I just struggled. I mean, if I look like I'm failing, then you're not gonna mess with me. You know, so it's like, if you give off that you're doing good, people want to be around people that's doing good. Right. So you give off the appearance that you're doing good. And I'm not saying I was doing bad, but I was struggling. Right. But if you show the struggle, a lot of people tend to veer away from you. So I tried not to show the struggle. Right. And kept everything on the positive side. And just kept everything.
I will say one of the things that you are awesome at as well is surrounding yourself with people who are more successful than you.
Of course, it's always key to not be the smartest person in the room. Amen. When you're the smartest person in the room, and I know a lot of people that throw off fake intelligence, and I say that to where they have knowledge of certain things, but they want to be known as being smarter than what they actually are.
Just enough.
Just
to
enough
have
to talk
one
about
conversation, but you get deeper.
And it's
they
like,
can't carry the conversation.
Talking about. So my whole thing was, I learned a lot from just sitting next to people that know business and just keeping my mouth quiet.
That's important. That's the important part. That's the part a lot of people forget to.
Everybody want to open their mouth and know this and know that. Like, okay.
Yep. Open your ears, close your mouth.
That's it.
So during that time, what was the moment, because you said it was 5 years, what was that moment where you were like, whew, I'm glad that's behind me?
That moment was when rent, well, in the process of that time, so let's see, that was started purchasing in 97. So within that time, my dumbass also bought a house.
No.
2 years in.
Now, I'm going to check you on that, because that house wasn't a bad investment.
No, it was.
That first house?
Yeah.
That was not a bad investment.
Yeah.
That was not, and everybody has to start somewhere.
Right. So
you got lucky. You bought in an area that was
right.
It was not. That house wasn't a bad
to get a house built brand new, and I had to pick everything out, the cabinets, the knobs for $80,000. Like I was 4-bedroom. I was winning, but
we paid almost the same. You remember what our house looked like?
Right. So, but I mean, like I said, winning but losing at the same time was like, I couldn't keep paying rent. I just felt like I was throwing money away. I was paying rent in 3 different places. Right. So I got the house built. A year later, I built the studio in the backyard. So I got rid of that rent. Right. Compounded it over here. And like I said, when I built that studio, like I literally had that built from the ground up, insulated, all the whole nine. Like a separate dwelling on my property. So I did that, saved a little bit of money, but it was when I got done paying rent on the shop that I could start saving, seeing a little bit of profit. I had to get them 4 or 5 years up off me, and then it was. But like today, what I paid for my shop, I could sell my shop right now. Well, I ain't gonna say I could sell, but because I'm never going to sell, but it's worth 5 times what I paid back then.
Yeah, because you started so young, and I think it's important that people understand. People understand. Need to understand that just because with the one thing is that you do, it can be so much more. Because at your heart, at the root, your tattoo, you're a barber. You cut hair. That's where you started. That's where the money came from to invest in all these other great things and all the cars and the houses and all that stuff. That's where it started. But it didn't stop there. Right. But it didn't stop there. Yeah, you're going to get from behind the chair. We already know that. You're going to stop and you're going to put somebody else there and you're going to run your empire. We'll get into that later. We'll get into the next steps later.
All right. Where do I start already? Well, first of all, he's probably one of the most business-minded people I know. In my time around him, when I was younger, I wish I would have learned more and paid more attention to the moves he was making, because now I find myself trying to emulate some of the things that he was doing from 2004, 2003. So that's one thing I will say about him. He's business-minded, always trying to find the next anything. The next anything. And, just a great guy to be around.
Reggie's a good dude. Enjoy playing football with him. Tries to play a little softball. But I've been cutting my hair for probably 15 or so years now. Always love hanging out in the barbershop with the boys.
I've been coming to Law Barbershop all my life. Reggie's family, my first cousin, man. So, well, actually my second cousin. But we got a lot of things we've been through together. Whether we're going on the field, playing flag football, battling each other on basketball, or really just giving me game on life and things to expect as I got older. It definitely taught me a lot about cars and financial literacy.
I've been on Reggie now for almost, about 30 years almost. Met him playing basketball, one of the coolest brothers I ever met in my life. And just a real genuine brother. When I first met him, we started cracking on each other, playing ball and everything, and we've been friends ever since. I watched his son not being born, but I knew him when his son was a newborn, and to the time he's been a grown man. And I just want to say, this is a beautiful person here, and I think he's a great guy, and I'm glad I know him.
All right, so you might be asking, what's a normal day for Reg Prodigy? All right. A normal day for me, I'm usually up at 6 a.m. Get out of bed, do your bathroom stuff, brush your teeth, wash your face, hit the restroom, boom, downstairs, take my high blood pressure medicine and my emergency, because we ain't COVID popping off. So I take my little emergency, my high blood pressure medicine, and then I'm out the door. Now on my way out the door, I'm on my way to the gym. Go to the gym, I'm in there for about an hour and a half. Then after that, I'm grab a little bite to eat, come into work. And while I'm at work, I'm in the shop 9 hours a day. And basically, when I don't have customers, I have a lot of downtime. A lot of downtime gives me the opportunity to do one or two things. Either sit at my desk in my chair and nod the hell off, which I do a lot, or come up with ideas and creative ways, to come up with something new, come up with something different, start thinking of different promotional tactics for different things, come up with a couple of different schemes for my shirts and logos and, business cards, the whole, whatever I can do to promote, that's what I'm on. If I'm not doing that, I'm downloading some music from my record pools, so when we out playing music, doing our thing, I'm looking for different avenues or places I can get the several different businesses that I own, what platforms can I get them on next? And, you know, in between time, getting shirts and product out to people. And then I'm cutting hair. I'm doing that all day. So all day, there's not a time at work that I don't have something to do, but there are times at work where I ain't doing nothing. And that's just them lazy days. You know, everybody got those, but it is what it is. Then after I get off, go back to the gym, try to get my lifting in, you know, do my cardio in the morning, try to get my lifting in the evening, you know, then I snag something to eat or go home and eat or whatever the situation may be, sit down, watch a little TV, fall asleep, then I get up and go get into bed. Then I'm back up doing it all again, you know. And that's just a typical day in the life. Now, if I can throw 2 or 3 things in between that, because I'm not going to miss nothing, like just not. So somebody say, hey, let's go here, let's do this, let's do that, you know. Wednesdays and Thursdays, I got my little pool league, shoot a little 9-ball, shoot a little 8-ball, you know. Not that great, but I'm not that bad. Actually, I'm the shit when I want to be, when some money on the line. But other than that, you know, I just do different things to keep myself active, keep, you know, I don't like being stagnant. You know, like I said, within the middle of that, you call me at 2 o'clock in the middle of the day, be like, hey, we need to go to DC tonight. And I done skipped the gym and I'm in DC. Just that simple. When I get home, at the gym in the garage, so I'm going downstairs to get my lift on or something. I had a injury. I had 2 injuries in the last 4 years. One torn quad tendon, and one had my Achilles and the bone in my ankle broken. So, and that's all from playing sports because I don't know when to sit down. Not gonna sit down.
All right, this is Red Prodigy. We on the move, right? You know how they say the saying goes, on the road again? When you fucking around in Atlanta, it's not on the road again, it's on the road aging, because you just sit on this motherfucker. Like, I could never deal with this traffic on a day-to-day. Like, it make you want to just shoot people tires out so that you can open up a lane of traffic for you to go through. Like, this shit is ridiculous. And then you got the cats that want to pull up all the way to your bumper and then skeet over and back and forth, which is cool because I'm that dude too, but you can't do it and I do it. So I'm pissed off when you do it because I'm driving this big ass truck and I can't do it, you know. But at the end of the day, this shit is ridiculous. Like, y'all need to do something like have an overpass over top of every highway so you can go up top or down bottom or something. Like, do this shit like a bridge because this shit is crazy. Like I said, not on the road again, I'm on the road aging. I'll let you know.
Yo, what up? It's your man Pro Scratch. Couple words about my man Reggie Henderson. Listen, the father, the husband, the family man, the friend, the businessman, the entrepreneur, the car collector, the go-to guy, the hookup, the connection, the music producer, the talent manager, the world's illest travel agent. Let me talk about a couple of those things right quick. Listen, I make beats, it's whatever. Well, Reggie's put me in the studio to work with individuals who've gone off to become superstars, man. He's put me in the studio with individuals that were established superstars, man, you know what I'm saying? He showed to my studio in a super car. See the trend, man? The man does super things. He's a super guy. He might be Superman, man. Listen, the go-to guy, the hookup, the connection. Look, you might go to the barber shop to get yourself a fade. Nah, you gonna get MPC, iPad, something like that brand new. You ain't walking out with just a fade. Listen, you want a brand new iPad? How much you think it's gonna cost you, man? $900, $1,000? Nah, man. Look, $125. Come on, man. You get the receipt and the warranty. You know, he'll show you how much he paid for. These are not hot items or hot deals, man. Check his taxes. He's legit 110%. Look, prove it to you. You want some wheels for your car, your truck? Pick him out the catalog, man. Huh? Explain that. Look, this ain't no joke about the travel agent thing. If he wanted to be the world's illest he is, look, I'm not gonna tell you anything about my time in South Beach, Miami, with Reggie and the fellas. It was tight, that's all I'm gonna say. Tell you about the Vegas. Put money in him, had to hang back in RVA. But look, here's what the deal was. You add this up, I'm gonna tell you how much it was at the end. 5 nights in Vegas, all right? Round trip airfare, all right? Baller suite, baller hotel on the strip, probably a rental car, food and drinks included, VIP and backstage passes or whatever events going on, press passes, whatever. I don't know why he gets a press pass. I don't know him to be coming back home and writing articles in the local newspaper. He might be a journalist on the low, I don't know. But listen, how much do you think all that's gonna cost you? Wrong. $35. Come on, man. Nobody does it better, man. Listen. On a serious tip though, look. I've been ready for over 20 years. There's not been one single occasion where he nor myself has ever disrespected one another whatsoever. And to me, that says a lot about a man's character. I'm very fortunate to consider Reggie to be a dear friend of mine, more than that even. He was the second person on this earth I told about my wife and I expecting our daughter. That's fam, man.
Prodigy. What you say about Reggie? Known for a long time. When you look at people who are entrepreneurs, Reggie is one of them. In the barbershop for years. You look at community, he does a lot of stuff in the community. He has a lot of ideas that I can't say right now he wants to do for the community. So that's to come. And then we have the great idea of talking about the barbershop talk. A lot of dignitaries, a lot of people who get to come there to talk about it. He has that avenue for us to come there and have that freedom of speech. So Reggie. Also, I call him, my nickname I call him the king of t-shirts. He got a lot of crazy stuff he said on t-shirts, so that's a lot of good things to say about that as well. But yes, we also done some events together. We got some more to come when COVID clears. So yes, Red's project.
So what about like, how do you encourage your kids to kind of be their own person and be independent?
Now my son, he has his own business now, and he's running into, I ain't gonna say running into, but he has the same issues I had at that time. You know, you got your own business and he has a 2-year-old. So
yes.
At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, bro, you gotta go to work. Like, you used to get up and take care of you. You were straight. Right. Now you got this little girl you gotta take care of. So, you know, he get on his grind, his hustle. He'll work for himself. He'll work for another company. He'll bust his butt and do 2 or 3 jobs. You know, he always looking to be on the grind to make some money.
That's the example. Yeah, it's the example that he saw.
Child support. Now my daughter, on the other hand, I had to teach my daughter how to manage money.
Well, that
my daughter makes good money, but she can't tell you where it's at.
Yeah, she is me at her age. Remember me at her age?
Oh yeah.
Remember me at her age? With the Audi, probably it cost more than I made in a year.
Right.
That you enjoy driving, but you ain't have to pay for.
Yeah, you know, my daughter.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
My daughter, I will say, when it's time for her to do something, like when she wanted to buy her car. Yeah. It was, Dad, got my check. Dad, I'm gonna keep this money for my personals. Take the rest of that, put it up. She saved her money to get her car. Like right now, she's got a good job. She's making good money, and she's trying to get her own place. Dad, yo, I got $50 out my check, you know, for gas and food for the week, or whatever I'm gonna do. Take the rest, put that up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm her savings account, like. But it's like, Dad, if I give you my money, I know you're not gonna spend it. I know you gonna, you know, do what you gotta do with it. But you know, I'm trying to, you know, she's coming around, so it's like I'm trying to explain to her the most important thing that people don't understand is money comes and goes. Credit is your life, and it's like people don't understand how important that credit is compared to $1.
Yeah,
and for me, like I could be flat broke with credit and be winning.
Right. Yeah,
You know?
other people's money.
So yeah, you know, and it is what it is, and that's the philosophy. Like when you put your money in the bank, they giving your money to somebody else, and then when you need some, they giving you somebody else's money. So it's like technically people don't really understand what credit really means.
How about, so we're talking about financial credit, what about credit, not street cred, but credit in the streets and credit within the industry, where people can trust what you say. What you say you're gonna do, you're gonna do.
Oh,
you are one of those people.
I'm one of them dudes. If I tell you if I tell you I'm going to get me a spaceship in a couple years, look out for the rims for the spaceship, because I'm putting rims on it. But I'm just gonna do what I say, because I don't believe in. I speak into existence what I want.
Right.
So if I speak about it, that's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
And that's what I want. And as far as street cred, like, I'm one of those guys that believe in, and this is a bad flaw that I have, but if you come to me and say, hey, you know, my car in the shop, let me borrow your car, I'm the dude that's gonna question you and be like, well, why is your car in the shop? You know, oh, I hit a bump and busted my rim. You're not taking my shit. You fucked yours up. You're not about to fuck mine up. And that's just how, like, I watch how people take care of their stuff. So you want to borrow something from me, I gotta know that you take care of your own before you can get something from me. And like I said, it's a character flaw that I have, but I see a lot of people don't take care of their shit and always want something from you. Right. Can't get that from you. If you ain't taking care of your shit, you can't use mine. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think, look, as long as we've been friends for, I don't remember, I can't count. I don't think we've ever borrowed anything from one another.
No, because your ass always had everything. Like, and then I was trying to get it.
And then look what happened. I never forget the time when I bought my first luxury car. And I was all excited. I was like, Reggie, look what I got. And then you went one up me. I had a 5 Series. You went and got a 7.
I mean, that's like...
I was like, really?
It wasn't even a one-up on you. It wasn't even...
But this is how you feel.
It wasn't even a one-up. It was
I know, but I didn't even take it that way. That was just like...
But it was like, I went from a 7 to a 5. Yeah. I just went down in numbers. Like, I start out up here and come on down. Like, you know...
Because we're getting smarter as we get older.
I don't... Well, when it comes to cars, I don't...
I know, that's your weakness.
That's my flaw.
Motor vehicles. Not just cars. It's your weakness.
Yeah, anything with a motor.
Yes.
Baseball caps and sneakers.
What's the most ridiculous purchase you made?
I would say purchase that this last motorcycle that I bought. I went to get my oil changed, and on the way back home I just stopped by the motorcycle shop to see what they had, and I saw a bike that caught my eye, and I turned around the next day and just bought it.
I was thinking more of a car.
Which one?
You know which one.
The Lotus?
Yes, the Lotus.
Oh, that wasn't that was planned. Like, I saw that damn Lotus Evora and I said, I'm getting that.
How many times did you drive it? You probably can count on your hands.
Yeah, probably about 4 times a month. Or something like that. But that wasn't the point. That was a dream car, man. I saw it and I wanted it, and it took me a year to find one that I could afford. Okay. So I've had the house on the hill with the fence and the $100,000 car and the kids in the backyard playing with the swimming pool. Yeah. Man, fuck that. Them days is over. Now I want the 5-bedroom house with the basement, with the pool in the backyard, no kids.
Except your grandchild.
No, she got to stay.
Your cute little grandbaby.
Yeah, that's my dog, but like, she will run me ragged. Like, she gets, like, it'd be like starting over. It's messing with her. She be trying to get it out.
I know. The crazy thing is, you have a grandchild and my child. They're not that far apart in age.
That was your fault.
Yeah, I know.
You was waiting too late.
I know.
But I don't know. It's. I still have, like I was saying earlier, like it's stuff I want. Like, I'm never gonna stop wanting.
So the hustle never stops.
So it just, I don't know when I'm gonna quit, where I'm gonna quit, because they keep coming out with new stuff. Like
I don't think your hustle ever is gonna end.
I want the AC over top of my head that dry my hair when I'm sweating when I leave the gym, like in my car. Like just stupid shit that they coming out with in these vehicles. Like I want to experience that. Like it's just I would never be satisfied. I don't think.
So what do you think when will you think you've had enough? When will your hustle ever end? Will it ever end? Will you ever say, you know what? That's it. That's enough. I got enough coming in. I don't have to work for it. Will that day for you ever come?
In honesty, I doubt it. And I only say that because when you stop wanting stuff, you really have nothing else to live for. And you don't have to take my breath to get me to stop wanting stuff. I might want something as simple as a Hot Pocket. But goddamn it, I'm gonna want something. So it's like, at some point in time, I gotta be able to pay for that Hot Pocket. So, and there's this thing where people aspire to be rich, and they got this thing called wealth. They're two different things. People don't really understand it. Rich people go broke. Wealthy people never go broke. Wealthy people don't work.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, for me, I was told that I was asked, was I a business owner? And I said, yeah. I said, I own a couple businesses. And then I was asked, do I get up and go to work? I said, yeah, I get up and go to work every day. And I was told I wasn't a business owner. I was self-employed.
That's deep.
So that changed the whole perspective of my life, going from being a business owner to being self-employed.
Right.
Business owners don't work. Self-employed people get up and go to work. So as long as I'm self-employed, I will always hustle.
So when do you plan to be just a business owner, like we spoke about earlier, when you're getting from
this residual income?
The chair.
When I make the right business choice. Not that I've made wrong business choices. It's just it has to be that one or two businesses that take you over the top. That I mean, like if you look at the way life is, like, well, let's say in general, you gotta pay car insurance, health insurance.
Right.
These are companies that'll never go broke.
Right.
Because you're forced to have.
Right.
I need that business that's gonna force people to have what it is that I'm selling.
Well, you do.
For me to create wealth.
Your business, the one you have, but how do you expand that one?
But to not work it.
That's
the key.
Exactly.
So all these people, Merrill Lynch and Liberty Mutual, all these people, State Farm, all these people that have developed, all these CEOs and corporate heads that sit at the top of the chain that don't know how to sell insurance. These are the people that have generational wealth.
Yeah.
But they have a service and a product that you have to have, and they don't have to sell it to you.
Right. And you have that. So we just gotta figure out.
I gotta figure out how to make it work.
That's right. We just gotta figure out how to expand it. I gotta
figure out how to make it work.
So what's the legacy that you want? Because I think some of it you've already, especially imparted to your son, because he has his own business, and that's somewhat of a legacy from you.
Right.
So, but what is it that you want everybody to take away from this?
That's a good question. I want everybody to, I don't want people to necessarily take anything away to where you have to do anything the way that I'm doing it, or that my motto is correct, or that I'm the pillar of the community. Not by far, but it's. I want people to understand, man. If you want something in life, you gotta go get it.
Right.
You gotta make it happen. You can't be. Once you get satisfied, you're stagnant. You can't get stagnant. You can't get satisfied with this and that. You can be happy with things in your life, and things could be going great, but things could always be better.
Right.
You know, I hear people say, "How you doing?" Couldn't be better. That's a lie.
Yes.
Like, I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Right.
We're in the middle of almost, I ain't gonna say resegregation, but it's like
this race stuff is bananas right now. This presidential election bullshit going on. It's just we in the midst of too much right now, where people should understand, like, at any point in time, anything you have can be taken away from you. So I want you to be prepared that if this get taken away, you need to be prepared for the next one.
Right.
And that's just the world we live in today. And like I said, it's I don't have a racist bone in my body. So when these people start protesting and you see me for who you see me for, like, everybody has perception.
Right.
But you don't have to have racism to have perception. So,
you know, we didn't talk about that. I don't know if you spoke about it with anyone else, but I remember your frustration years ago. We were a little bit younger. Like when you bought the 7 Series, getting pulled over repeatedly.
oh yeah, man.
And you're like one of the most honest dudes I know. I've never been a criminal. Never anything.
I had a 7 Series with some 22-inch rims on it, of course. I was a young black man. Of course, I wore T-shirts, baseball caps, you know, so I don't appear to be a business owner. But I remember one trip, me and my boy Brandon, we went down to Atlanta. Got pulled over coming home. We got pulled over in Georgia, like 2 miles away from South Carolina border. We get pulled over, get pulled out the car, get questioned, the whole nine. Didn't get a ticket. Man, say I swerved and hit the line a couple times.
Right.
Okay. So you pull us out the car at separate times. You interview us. This is and that. Let us go. We pull off. As soon as we get in South Carolina, pull off at the first exit, get some gas, get back on the highway. Brandon's now driving.
Right.
Boom, get back on the highway. Within 1 mile, we get pulled over again. Get pulled out the car. Now, mind you, it's raining.
Right.
So we get pulled out the car again, get questioned, blah, blah, blah. Whole nine. Wrote Brandon a warning for speeding. Like, dude, you have to accelerate to get on the interstate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then I got harassed about, you know, I'm in the passenger seat of my car.
Right.
You okay? Do you know who this person is driving? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Like, do I look stranding? I'm half asleep. Do I look like I'm worried? I ain't got no handcuffs on. I ain't got no tape around my mouth. Like, I've been abducted in my own car type shit. So, just stupid shit like that. Then I get home a week later. I get pulled over coming home because, of course, it's about midnight, a little after midnight. I'm coming home through downtown, whatever. I get pulled over for speeding. Officer finds out I had my gun in my car. Claims he couldn't see because it's a black gun sitting on a black seat. It wasn't concealed. I got a concealed permit.
Right.
It had expired from when I moved from one house to another and I didn't get notified. But it was only expired by like 2 months.
Right.
So the dude confiscated my gun, write me a ticket for concealed handgun, whatever. So they took my gun, let me go, but never gave me the ticket for speed. So you say I was doing 50 in a 35, but you never wrote me that ticket.
Right.
You know, so you look over and I had a tank top on. It's summertime, 90 degrees, so I had my t-shirt in the seat, my gun in the seat, and you tried to say, you know, my gun was concealed. You can see I'm a concealed carrier, but I was expired by 2 months, so like I ain't really violated nothing. And I got rid of the car.
What did you trade it in for? What did you trade your 7 Series BMW in for? Because you were bad.
What the hell did I trade it in for?
A Hyundai.
Oh yeah, that was I got rid of my 7 Series and bought a Genesis coupe. Like, fuck it.
It's like, I'm tired of getting pulled over.
I bought a baby blue Genesis coupe. I said, pull me over in this motherfucker.
Did you get pulled over in that one?
Not one. Not one.
What do you, at this point, at 47, do you take away from all of that experience? What is the best thing that you think that you've learned, and how do you plan to take that and go forward?
The biggest thing that I've got out of all my experiences is the people I've met. My clientele base is everything to me. So all of my clients are some of the most important things outside of my family. because they make me who I am. And they just, they're the reason I get up and go to work every day. Dude asked me the other day, one of my friends, he was saying he had been doing advertisement for like 20 years. And he said he kind of got tired of it.
Right.
So he asked me, he said, what keeps you coming back to the same job? He asked me, did I like my job? And what keeps me coming back? And like I told him, I said, I get a new boss every 20 minutes.
Right.
I said, every experience is something different. I tell him, about every month or so, I'll sit back and go on YouTube and just watch some other guys cut hair and just look at their techniques and stuff. Not to steal, but to inspire myself to reinvent what I'm doing the way that I do it.
Right.
So I told him, I said, I like getting up and going to work every day. I like the fact that I'm going to run into different people every day. I have different conversations all day long. I get to watch TV when I ain't doing shit.
Right.
Like, so it's just, I like my job, I like my clients, and you get a couple clients you really don't like, but it's a challenge to be able to do something different all day. You might ask for this haircut, he asks for this haircut, so I'm changing up what I'm doing all day. It might be a white guy, Asian, black, whatever. So hairstyles change, hair textures change, techniques change. You have to use. One dude asked me, "Why you got so many pair of clippers?" I said, "I cut so many different styles of hair." Right. It's just that simple. So I kind of enjoy getting up, going to work. There's a lot of people that don't have jobs. So, and it's not even the fact that I get up and enjoy going to work. I enjoy getting up to a new experience.
Okay.
So everything for me is a different experience. Hopped in the car last night. Me and my daughter was riding, go get some sneakers and stuff like that. And she opened up. We had a little conversation, but it was like, shit, we turned the radio off and we talked. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that was just a different experience of my day. I'm usually in the car by myself 100% of the time. So you don't have nobody to talk to, so I'm jamming.
Right.
But then I got to talk to my daughter for a couple hours while we ride. It just every day is a different experience. So you never know what one day is gonna bring from the next. Like today is Sunday. You're watching football all day. Every game gonna be different. So that's how I like life. I like things to change.
So it's been awesome hanging out here with you today. It's absolutely beautiful day on Browns Island in Richmond, Virginia.
What better place than next to the Federal Reserve?
Right. I just
I feel the money coming in his pocket. Like, I feel the money. Just jump in. Come on. Just jump in.
I'm like, are you amazed though? Like in our years, the first for a long time, the Richmond skyline has none of that. When we became friends, none of that was there. Just that one building right there. None of this other stuff was
They've
there.
actually turned downtown, or I didn't say downtown, just around the water of Richmond, they really tried to turn it into a baby New York. Like, what we doing with?
I think it's beautiful though.
What we doing with condos and high rises and shit in Richmond?
$1 million condos. That's the thing. Condos, yes. But
every day I go home, I pass a set of condos that's like 1.6 million, and I'm like, where the fuck are these jobs at in Richmond, Virginia, where people are paying 1.6 million for a condo? Like, I need to know where these jobs at in Richmond. Like, at the end of the day, but stuff is changing, stuff is evolving. I just wish they would. You can build condos, but you can't fix the streets. City of Richmond, get y'all shit together.
How you, as we're leaving, tell me how you're gonna cater your hustle to this new atmosphere.
I'm going to develop, and when I say develop, I have to figure out what product it is that I can reach new homeowners, new businesses that are coming. What I have to develop that product that I can present to the newness of where we're at, the industry that's coming, the type of clients that are, or the type of people that are coming to Richmond and why they're coming. I have to figure out why they're coming here, what is it that's attracting people here, and then I have to figure out how to get into that market.
Okay.
So that way I can evolve right along with the rest of the city before I leave.
Okay. All right. Life of a hustler without the game.
It is what it is. It's your boy Prodigy with Miss Mahogany Brown. Appreciate y'all taking the time to listen.
And thank you for having me.
Oh, definitely. Wouldn't have it no other way.
Thank you. This has been fun.
All right. Thank you.
This your boy Kurt Bradby giving a shout out to my man Reggie Henderson. Just going to say a few kind words about him. Known that man for 35 years. He started out cutting hair back in the day when we were in high school in the locker room. He's grown that business and several other businesses. Very successful man. Honest, trustworthy. Always does what he says he's going to do. Got nothing but love for him. I'm proud of everything that he's accomplished. It's a great example of what you can do when you put your mind to something. We played basketball together, football together. Been friends a very long time and got nothing but hot things and great things to say about him. Awesome dude. One love. Peace out.
What's happening? So, here to talk about Mr. Reg Prodigy. My dog. My brother. Man, I've known this man for over 20-some years, man. You know, we have our ups, we have our downs, but man, we have a whole lot of good times, man. You know, he's the person that if you ever want a long, lengthy conversation about some nonsense, come to him. If you want some advice about some good stuff, come to him. If you want a good joke, a good laugh, come to him. If you need a trade done, he probably knows it. Damn near jack of all trades. And he alright barber, you know, cuts a little hair here and there.
Hey, this is BX. Man, I've known Reggie since 1996. That's a long time. And it started off with him becoming my barber, but you know, as you can imagine, over the course of 25 years, we've become really good friends. So, you know, he's always held me down, always supported things that I've done. Just a great guy to have around, man. Glad to have had him in my life. So anyway, man, I congratulate you on your documentary, and I wish you much success.